Hey, 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 my Facebook family. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, we got a lot of you already on here saying hi, telling me where you're from, all that good stuff. I like to know about it. I like to know where you're from, where you're coming in at, what you're doing. Today is Tuesday. It's your real estate investing talk show, and I am your real estate coach. This is Zach Childress, and I'm happy to be here with you today. We are coming up on the holiday seasons, and I'm always happy about this time of the year. Makes me remember why we're here, for the blessings that have been given to us, and I'm going to talk about it all month long. So, welcome to the show. This is your real estate investing talk show. So, come on board. Tell me where you're at. Tell me where you're from. If you're new, let us know you're new. Let us know where you're coming in at, okay? I'm always here joined with the lovely Jill. Say hi to Jill.
Hello.
So, where we got people coming in from, Jill?
We got people coming in from, I'm assuming Con is Connecticut. We've
Connecticut.
got Gettysburg, Pennsylvania with Robert, Carol from Oklahoma City, Stephanie from NWA.
NWA?
Isn't that a rap group?
I think it is. What is NWA? Northwest Arizona?
Alaska?
Northwest Alaska? Oh,
I'm not sure. Susan from Connecticut. We have Nathaniel here says hello. Bonnie says hello. Ariana says hello. We have Robert from Camden. We have Betty from Florida. She says she's new to real estate investment.
Well, welcome, Betty. I'm glad to have you here. This is where you learn all you need to know about real estate investing. I'm glad you're with us today, Betty.
We have Veronica from South Carolina. Laura says hello. Carlos from Connecticut. See, he says hello.
Carlos.
Tasha from Maryland. Oh, Betty said hi to me. Hi, Betty.
Betty, I don't get a hi? What's going on here?
Francisca from Athens, Alabama.
Oh, Francisca.
Laura from Birmingham. Lance from Newton, North Carolina. No, we were both wrong. It was Stephanie's from Northwest Arkansas.
Northwest Arkansas. We went all the way across Arkansas. We went to Alaska, and
we were going national.
We were going national. Robert's new.
We have Dawn from Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, Dawn.
I'm going to butcher this name, and I'm so sorry, but I think it's Babu.
Babi.
From Arizona. We have Max from Maryland, Michelle from Fresno, California.
They're coming in from all over. Hey, listen, if you're just joining us, this is Zach Childress. I am your real estate coach, and we're here to talk about real estate investing today. We got a great topic for you today. Today's topic is all about LOIs versus purchase contracts. What is an LOI? What is a purchase contract? How are they different? Why should you use either one of them? What's the purpose of them? Do you need to use them? Who do they protect? Do they protect you or someone else? That's what the topic today is about, okay? So if you've got any questions on real estate, you need to type them in. I said this once before and it didn't work, but I don't plan on being here for a full hour today, but you never know. Depends on how many questions come in. So, hey, I'm just excited that you're here with us today. If you know what I'm all about, share the stream, share the message. This is powerful. People need to understand what a purchase contract is, what it's used for, and what is an LOI, and why do we use them? What are they for? How do you use both of them, and so forth. And that's the point of the training today. So I hope you're ready for that type of training today. So listen, if you're new, tell us who you are, tell us where you're from, say hi to everybody, and let's get everybody rocking and rolling today. We've got a big show today.
Steve is back. He says hi, Zach and Jill. He's in Florida.
Steve!
Lance, he says he saw you in Charlotte.
Lance in Charlotte.
Yep. Max, he says he's new here.
Hey, way to go, Max. Broadening your horizon, my friend. Way to be on here.
Toby is joining us today. Teresa said, saw you in Dallas.
Toby, Teresa. You guys just can't get rid of me, can you? I'm always here. I'm always here. I'm always here. Hey, what kind of real estate questions do you have for me today? I'd like to know about that. If you're out there making it happen, you're getting into it, what kind of real estate questions do you got for me?
Carlandra, says she's new.
Well, welcome, Carlandra. This is the place to be. This is where the real information gets put down right here. This is it right here. This is where you learn how to actually get over the fears and what's stopping you and how do you understand what's working. So listen, if you're just joining me, my name is Zach Childress. I am your real estate coach. I'm here every Tuesday at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone, except for holidays. And I do this to help bring value to you, to share the message of what you need to be doing to grow your real estate business. I do these every Tuesday, and I do these on Wednesdays at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone. Why? Because we dig deeper on Wednesdays. We find out really what's going on, what's really important to you, and how do we get there. You need to be on both shows. This is what I do for you. Hey, if you're brand new to real estate and you're trying to figure out how do you get to your first deal, you need to get a copy of my book right now. My book right here on the wall, My First Deal Playbook. It's your pocket guide to real estate success. You can get that book off of Amazon. Go to Amazon.com, type in My First Deal Playbook. Pull it up, get a copy of the book, and then leave a review for me, okay? Do that.
Frank says, getting properties under contract. Norman says, I am new. Solidel said she finally has a connection. Hello, Zach and Jill and everybody.
Awesome.
Lance says, backup deals in case primary falls through.
So the questions already coming through are, I see getting properties under contract.
Yep.
The other one is what backup deals in case a primary falls through.
Yep.
And Lance, does that mean a backup deal or a backup buyer? Get some clarity on that.
Francisca, she says, first, how can you get a realtor out of the middle of a deal, or can you get them out of the way? If so, how?
Okay, that's a good question. We'll have to come back to that one, Francisca, but I can answer that. And it's kind of a tricky question, so I want to make sure I put some time on that for you. All right. Well, listen, I'm all about answering those questions. So we got 3 questions ready to go. Right now, what do we got to do, Jill?
We got to go on air.
We got to go live.
On air.
Listen, we broadcast this show on YouTube, we broadcast it on Facebook, we broadcast it on podcasts, and we broadcast it on the radio, Blog Talk Radio. So what's that mean? That means you guys get the inside scoop. So when I'm doing the show over there and I take breaks, I'm over here answering questions for you guys. That's why it's so valuable that you're on the Facebook feed.
All right, so we are going to go on air in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, this is Zach Childers. Welcome back to your real estate investing talk show where we make things happen in today's world. Listen, if you're joining me for the first time on the radio show or the podcast, don't worry, I am from Alabama. I just talk real fast, okay? Why is that important? Because you need to be making quick moves right now in real estate. Real estate is the place to be, guys. You wouldn't be listening to this show. You wouldn't be following me. We wouldn't get thousands of views on our Facebook feeds. We wouldn't get hundreds and hundreds of comments if we weren't helping people along the way. So I say that because if you're listening to me on the podcast or you're listening to me on the Blog Talk Radio, you need to be on the Facebook live show. That's the behind the scenes. So write this down if you're riding down the road or if you're listening in your car, if you're just listening to me wherever, in the private of your closet somewhere, write down REISuccessacademy.com/Facebook. Do that. Get on my Facebook feed. For all my people on the Facebook feed, if this is the spot to be, I want you to type in right now, this is the show. Type in, this is the show. This is the show. Because when people come over, they need to hear it coming from you so they know to stay with us. Listen, this is the power of what happens when you build a community on Facebook of learning and educating and being in the time of the right now and what's working. I air this on the Blog Talk and air this on podcast for you guys to know that you're missing out. You need to be over on Facebook. You need to be paying attention to what we're doing on Facebook, just like Betty wrote. This is the show. Just like Frank wrote, this is the show. This is real. I'm talking to people firsthand on here. You need to be over there. We have a huge topic today that all of you need to be paying attention to, and that is, what is the difference between an LOI and a purchase contract? So if you're brand new and you're just saying, man, I don't know what I need to do, then this is why you're here. You're in the right spot at the right time at the right place to learn from the right real estate coach, and that's me, Zach Childers. So I share this message with you today because I need you to understand that there's nothing stopping you from moving forward besides the lack of your education. So we've got to get you educated. We got to get you in the stream. We got to get you in the groove, man. That's what we got to do. And the only way to do that is to participate. Participate.
That's awesome.
That's right. That's awesome, man. When you participate, that's awesome. And so how do you participate? You got to get on the Facebook feed. That's the only way to participate. So I appreciate all of you on my Blog Talk, and I appreciate all of you on the podcast, and I appreciate all of you on the YouTube channel, but you need to participate on the Facebook. REISuccessacademy.com/Facebook. Get on there, guys. Here's why. Because now you can start to ask me questions. I can get to know you. You can get some of my free giveaways. I give away stuff all the time on here. Hey, if you guys aren't aware, we're also doing a very special giveaway. We're raffling off, just so that everybody knows what's going on December the 20th. Pay attention. Write this date down. On December the 20th, we are giving away, if we get your name, we're going to raffle the names off on December 20th, TVs. I got TVs. I got Fire. What are those things called?
Kindle Fire.
I got Kindle Fires. I got laptops. I got toolkits. I got kits you can put in your car. I got Keurig machines. I don't even know what I got. Gift cards. I got money. I got courses. I'm giving it all away. Why? Because if you buy anything from me in the company, between now and the morning of the 20th, your name goes into a raffle box, okay? And what does that mean? That means on the 20th, I'm going to start pulling names. And if your name's on there, you get to win something. You'd be Merry Christmas to you just for getting yourself in. So what do I need you to do? I need you to call a student advisor today. What's that number? 707-247-4248. Yes, that number should come across your screen any minute now. There it is, 707-247-4248. Call that number. Find out what it is that you can invest in for your benefit, your education. I got some discounts. I got some 50% off stuff right now. Call a student advisor. Tell them you want to get in on one of the discounts. Plus, you want to get your name in the raffle bucket for December 20th. You got to be on the show to win, though, okay? So that's what I got for you. Even if you register for the event, we got the event coming up in February. This is where you need to be. Where do you need to be? You need to be starting your year off right. We have an event coming up in Los Angeles. That's right. February the 10th through the 11th. It's our event. It's the first of the year event, starting the year off right. I'm going to roll back the sleeves, and we have a phenomenal educator that's coming in, Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank. Yes, he is going to be there teaching with us. This guy has produced over $400 million in net worth. He has helped more people become millionaires through investing. He's written the book, Put a Shark in Your Tank, which is what I've done, and the Act Now book on how to make $1 million with a product. This guy knows how to turn people to success, and he's coming to our event in Los Angeles the 9th through the 11th of February. And he's going to be there with me teaching, and you do not want to miss out on this event. So get registered. That counts as a ticket in the drawing. So you need to call the office, 707-247-4248. And come learn how to grow your business, rub elbows with millionaires, me, my partners, and the original Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, the shark from the Shark Tank. So listen, here's what I want to do. We're going to jump into LOI versus purchase contracts, and this is what's important. Hey, for all my Facebook people, if you are using an LOI, I want you to type in the feed, I'm using an LOI, just so I know who is actually using LOIs. If you're not using an LOI, type in the feed, I have not used an LOI, or not me, something like that, so I can get a ratio of how many of you have used LOIs and how many of you haven't, okay? If we were in a live room, I'd tell you to raise your hand, but we're not. So just know that. So here's where I want to be clear on. We're going to start off with a purchase contract, and then we'll move into the LOI. So what is a purchase contract? A purchase contract is simply that. It is a contract. It is an agreement between two parties to exchange something, to buy and sell something, to have an agreement based on item or asset that's being sold, based on the terms in which the buyer or seller have agreed on to make the transaction happen. So, for instance, I'm going to buy for $100,000 your house, and I'm going to close in 30 days, and I have a 14-day due diligence period, and I'm going to put up $500 earnest money. Those are the terms of the agreement. The other thing inside of a purchase contract are things like, your escape clauses. How do you get out of the deal if you don't want to be in it? How do you sell your rights to the contract if you don't want to close on it? Those are called assignable rights. How do you extend the contract, called extension rights? These are all things that you have to think about in the purchase contract. Is the purchase contract valuable? Absolutely. Here's one thing you have to understand. The purchase contract, once it's been signed by two parties, is actually, you're in an agreement to buy. You're in a tangible agreement. You're in a binding agreement, okay? You have both agreed on the terms of the sell or buy, and now you're in a binding agreement. This is why a lot of people don't want to or get nervous about sending out purchase and sales agreement, because they're in a binding agreement, and therefore they say, well, what if I can't close? Well, I'm in a binding agreement. Well, that's why you have to understand there are other ways to secure your rights into an agreement, okay? So the binding agreement is just that. Do we have a contingency period? Yes. If you're going to wholesale that contract, you're going to sell your rights to that contract, you want to play with inside the contingency period, okay? That's where you play. That's your safe zone. That's your safe zone right there is the contingency period, all right? That's the area that you want to make sure that you're within if you're going to wholesale the contract. The other side of the contract is this, is the contract is actually is not even a valid contract unless money has been exchanged. Okay, so I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's $10, I don't care if it's $5 or $1 million, whatever it is, there has to be exchangement of money to bond or bind the two parties in a purchase agreement. Okay, the other thing you have to be aware of in the purchase agreement is that you have to make sure that it is set the way you want it. And the other thing you need to be aware of is all contracts are negotiable. Everything in a contract is negotiable. And if I put a contract out with all my terms on it and the seller doesn't agree and they come back, they have to send me back an addendum for what they want, or they have to send me back a purchase agreement with their terms on it, and then I have to either sign that or change that, or if I do an inspection, I have to come back with an addendum with changes that I want. And here's the other thing, all addendums supersede the original contract. So for instance, one of my negotiation techniques is I just say, send me whatever you want on the contract, I don't care. They write up the contract, they send it to me, they go, what do you think about the contract? It's fine. And then all I do is create an addendum that has everything that I want on the addendum, and I sign the purchase of contract, and I put a little star at the bottom that says "See attached addendum." And then the addendum outlines everything I want. Longer contingency periods, the right to assign, the buyer takes name and title, entity of choice. Everything's in the addendum because what do I know? All addendums supersede the original contract, okay? The other thing, here's something you need to know if you're a wholesaler and you're watching this right now, is that you need to understand that all contracts are fully assignable. All contracts are fully assignable unless otherwise stated not. Okay, so just know that if you're on here and you're a wholesaler and you're trying to wholesale, trying to figure out wholesaling, and you're being told a bunch of different stories, it's just, you need to understand all contracts are fully assignable. It's contract law. That's the way it is. Attorneys know this. Why do you think when they write a contract, they put in there what? The contract is non-assignable. Because what do attorneys know? That you have the full rights to assign any contract unless it's otherwise stated not in the contract. So when I bring up the verses, right? L.O.I's versus purchase contract. Why? Why is that a verse? Well, because I would like for all of you to be doing as many offers as possible. But the challenge with that is most of you are fearful of sending out offers. You're fearful of sending out purchase and sales agreements because you don't really know them that well. But one thing you do know is if the other party accepts it, then you feel like you're binded in that agreement. And in some essence you are, but in some you're not unless money has been exchanged to secure that agreement. So if I said to you, go send out 100 offers, and you said to me, well, but Zach, what if they accept all my offers? They're binding. Well, they are as soon as money's been exchanged, right? But it's also a fear factor for a lot of people because they don't want to get in the middle of a contract that they don't have the ability to close on. And so therefore they don't want to send out a lot of offers. They want to do one at a time and to wait to see if they get it. And if they don't get it, they send another one out because they're fearful of the offering process of multiple offers at one time. And I get that. And that's why I want you to understand what an L.O.I is for also, and then I want to take some questions on the L.O.I and the purchase contract. But just know that the purchase contract is the agreement between you and the seller or you and the buyer that it lays out the understanding of how that transaction is going to be closed, what the terms are, what the price is, and what you have the rights to do and not to do. The other thing is I get a lot of people who ask me, well, Zach, but don't I have to use a state contract? The answer is no, you do not. You do not. Listen, the state contract is not like the state of Texas created a contract. No, it's the Department of Real Estate created a contract for realtors in that state. It's not the state, it's the Department of Real Estate. And who is the Department of Real Estate? It's your agents. That's what it is. It's only there for agents. Agents and brokers needed a contract that could be used amongst all agents that were neutral, that would do one thing, and that's to protect the brokers. That's the whole purpose of it. It's all there to protect the broker. And so when people come to me and they say, oh, well, don't I have to use the state contract? No, you don't. I've written up a many of offers not on a state contract, okay? But hey, look, if the person I'm working with wants to use a state contract, that's fine. Get it. Use it. I don't care, because whatever's in there, if I don't agree with it, I'm going to use an addendum to override what I don't like in the contract, okay? So I want you to understand, you can buy anything on a piece of paper that's written up as a purchase agreement. That's all you need, okay? It does not have to be on a state contract. If you're working with an agent, they won't do the deal unless it's on a state contract, because why? It's there to protect their broker. That's why it boils down to that. So, hey, listen, for everybody on the radio and the podcast, I'm going to come right back. And if you're not with me on Facebook, you need to jump over there, reisuccessacademy.com/Facebook. I got some real estate questions I'm going to be answering for my Facebook family during the break. I'll be right back. All right, Facebook. What do we got? What were some of those questions?
All right. So Francisca, she said, first, how can I get a realtor out of the middle of a deal, or can you get them out of the way?
So
how?
The reality is you cannot get them out of the middle of the deal if they have an agreement between them and the buyer or the seller. There's a listing agreement that the seller has signed with the agent. And what that means is that they're in a contract with them to sell the property, unless the seller has signed the agreement with the agent, but they put a clause in there that says, if I find my own buyer, I can close on my own. I've done that a lot in my time. If they have that in there, then they can get out of it. The other way is you just got to buy them out. So for instance, if you have an agent that's not putting the deal together the way you and the seller want to, and they're getting in the middle of it and they're really trying to screw the deal up, well, then you can just go buy that agent out. What were they going to make? 3%? Okay, great. I'll give you 3%, on the deal. Get out of the way. Let me deal with the seller. I've had to do that on commercial deals, where I was dealing with commercial agents that were new and they were going to kill the deal, and I just had to say, look, man, step out of the way. You'll still get paid, but I need to deal with the seller. And so that's some of the things you got to think about.
All right. Lance Abrams, he says backup deals, and I didn't get any more clarity on that. So, Lance, if you want to...
Well, here's the thing. If you got a deal, this is the one that said about deals falling out.
In case of the primary deal falling through.
If the primary deal falls through, how you have backup deals is you never stop looking for deals. That's like the number one thing that new real estate investors do. And new salespeople do. They get a couple of deals in their pipeline, they stop sourcing new ones. They stop building their pipeline. And then the next thing you know, the deal doesn't close and they're stuck. They're stuck. They got to start all over again. So I share that with you, Lance, because the only way that you're ever going to keep moving forward in this business is you have to act as if no deal you have is going to close. That's how you have to act. You could have 15 deals ready to go to closing, but you got to act like all 15 of them are going to fall out at the last minute. So if you act that way, then you're always going to be putting new deals in your pipeline. You're always going to be looking for new deals, new deals, new deals. You got to keep looking.
So how do you get deals under contract?
How do you get deals under contract?
Yes.
Well, that's easy. You find a seller that wants to sell. You negotiate and you agree to a sales price and terms that are agreeable by the both of you. That's a win-win situation. You find the purchase and sales agreement in your resource CD, depending on which course you have of ours. You send it to the seller, or you sit across from the seller. You take a pen and you say, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, if you agree with everything on this purchase agreement, can you sign the bottom line for me? That's how you get them to sign it. That's it. You will never get them to acknowledge the paperwork unless they have agreed to the terms. That's the negotiation side.
Betty says, where do you find good deals?
Betty, where do you find good deals? The best deals out there are what we call private sellers. They're the best deals. Everybody wants to find deals on the MLS. So what do? They all go look for deals on the MLS. That's where they all go. And the problem with everybody going to look for deals on the MLS is just that. Everybody's looking for deals on the MLS. They're all on there. So the challenge is you trying to find a good deal. So if you want to get the best deals, you got to get away from it where everybody else is swimming, and you got to go where other people aren't. And what does that mean? You got to go after private sellers. You got to look for them online. You got to look for them for sale by owners. You got to do some marketing, some direct mail. You got to get out there, and you got to get in front of the people that aren't putting them on the MLS.
Glenn says, traveling through the country in an RV, can we find a property?
Glenn, you can find a property anywhere you go. If you're traveling the world in an RV, if I was you, I'd be looking for my next destination, and I would start looking for deals there. So when I got there, I could close on a few deals, make some money, and then enjoy my time there. And then I would set my next destination, and I would start looking for deals in that market and building all my processes. And then when I get over there, I'd close some of those deals and make some money.
I mean, it's a perfect setup.
Right?
Really.
That's exactly what I would do.
And you could claim your trip.
Yeah, you'd be traveling the world for free.
So, Toby, she says, should I talk to owners who have listed their properties on the MPS?
MPS.
I believe that might be like the MLS.
You could. I don't know how you're going to talk to the sellers. Usually they're listed by an agent, which means you'd have to go through the agent. If you're talking to the seller and they are listed, you just got to ask the seller, are you in a position to bring your own buyer in, or do I need to be dealing with your agent?
So Steve says, if it isn't assignable, is that the end of the deal?
If what's not assignable?
If the rights to the contract is not assignable, is that the end of the deal?
If your intent is to assign the contract, yes, it would be the end of the deal. Which means, and that's why I'm confused, because all contracts are fully assignable. So when you say when it isn't assignable, I'm not sure what you mean there, Steve.
If somebody had put in this contract is not assignable.
Oh, if they put in that it's not assignable, then yes, you would just need to put an addendum to that contract that simply says buyer reserves the rights to take title in name or entity of choice. So if they put in the contract, this contract is non-assignable, I'm going to send an addendum over that says buyer reserves the rights to take title in name or entity of choice.
Okay, so Maiko, he says he has found one, and I'm assuming that he means he's found a deal. AC, he said, or double close.
And I agree with AC, but you got to be careful with the double closing. I see too many people get into those things, and then they can't figure out why they're paying money on the second closing. If you're going to double close, you got to have more profit in the deal than just a small assignment fee. If you've got an assignment deal, you're going to make $5,000 off. You will never be able to double close that because you've got closing fees on the first transaction, plus you got transactional funding fees, plus you got closing fees on the second transaction. So you got to make sure that you're able to calculate those fees up. And is there enough spread in that deal to do a double closing? But I agree with where AC's going with this. If they say it's not non-assignable, yes, you could double close, but it has to have enough profits to make that happen.
So Katrina, she says, what if you know someone that is selling their house? Can you get them to sell it to you?
Well, why couldn't you? All you got to do is talk to them, Katrina. I mean, listen, it's 101 communication. If anybody who's selling a house, you have the opportunity to buy it from them. Anybody, you have the opportunity to buy it from them. The challenge is most people aren't realistic about their sales price, so therefore it's not really an opportunity for you to buy. That's why you have to take them through the communication stage of your lead intake, which is stage number 3. You got segmentation, marketing, communication of your lead intake process, and you got to find out, is there motivation? Are they motivated? Is the property motivated? Is there a sign that you can make money from it? All right. Listen, I got to get back to the LOI, and then we'll answer some more questions.
I did have a question of what is an LOI?
I'm about to talk about it. Great transition.
Yes, so we are going to go back on air in 5, 4, 3,
2, 1. Welcome back to your real estate investing talk show where we talk about how you can make some money in real estate, and that's what it's about. Hey, if you're just joining me back, this is Zach Childress. I am your real estate investing coach, and we are on this show talking about LOI versus purchase contracts. The first segment of the show was all about purchase contracts and why they have value and why they might fear some, or why they might put some fear in some of you when it comes time to start making more offers. You understand, more offers equals more deals, which equals more money. That's it. Say it with me. You guys on Facebook, type that out. I want you to acknowledge this. More offers, write it out. More offers equals more deals equals more money. More offers, more deals, more money. Write that out for me. I need you to understand that. I'm listening through Facebook. You need to write that out. More offers equals more deals equals more money. Okay? That's what it's about. And so some of you are afraid to make more offers when it comes to purchase contracts because they are binding agreements, and you are nervous about that. And the other thing that you guys get nervous about is you go, what about all the EMD, earnest money deposit I have to put out? Well, that's why I tell you guys, you should use LOIs. LOIs, 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 LOIs. All right? What is an LOI? Let's talk about what is an LOI. An LOI is a letter of intent, okay? It is the intent in which you are willing to purchase the asset with, okay? LOIs are commonly used in the commercial space. They're actually primary used in the commercial space. But they use it to go back and forth and acknowledge intent and to acknowledge terms and price before they ever execute a contract. In the real estate space, we are always wanting to do purchase agreements first. Not I, says the rabbit. Because here's why. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole with you and do all that paperwork if I don't have the idea that we're on the same page. So therefore, I use an LOI. I send out thousands of LOIs. Why? Here's the best part for all my new people. LOIs are non-binding. How about that one? So what does that mean? That means you could send out literally 1 million LOIs. 1 million. I think that's how you do it. And if all million of them got accepted, you wouldn't have to do nothing. Nothing. They're non-binding. There's nothing that anybody can do. You can send out, listen, you could flood the market with LOIs and nothing can happen to you. Nothing. You understand that? I nearly peed my pants. That was so funny. Nothing can happen to you. Do you understand? Nothing. And that's the beauty of LOIs. But what the LOI does is it gets very clear your intent. It gets very clear your intent, what the price point is you want to buy at, what the terms is that you want to buy at, what the closing time you want to close on. It goes through everything with you, okay? So that the seller and you can get on the exact same page before you ever execute a purchase agreement. It's very clear in the letter of intent that if all these terms and everything are agreed upon, then you will move forward and execute a purchase and sales agreement that you and the seller can acknowledge. Why I tell all my new students use LOIs is because I want them to get over the fear of sending contracts. I want them over the fear. I want them to be on the phone, dialing and sending offers. That's what I want. I want them dialing and sending offers, dialing and sending offers, dialing and sending offers, dialing and sending offers. If you want to make it in this business, I'm going to tell you right now, stop doing everything you're doing. I don't care who's teaching you. Stop listening to anything anybody's teaching you and start looking for deals and dial the phone and send offers. If you'll do that, you'll make money. Now, you got to be careful. You got to understand market segmentation. You got to understand clustering. You got to make sure you're building buyers. There's some things that you have to do along the way, but you've got to get over the fear and you've got to start dialing the phone and you've got to start making offers. There's no way around it. There's absolutely no way around it. You can, listen, you can read all the books you want. You can study all the manuals you want. You can do all that. But if you don't ever overcome your fear of communication and how to talk and read scripts that we provide you, you're not going to make it, guys. You're not. And that's the reality. I know I just smacked you in the face there, didn't I? But hey, sometimes that's what you need to hear. I want you to make it, but you've got, listen, we did a call months ago the call was about calls equal results. And it was about me coming out of our 2-day immersion, something that we do with our coaching students. We bring them all into a 2-day immersion, and it's a deal. All it is, for 2 days, I get you guys dialing the phones and looking for deals over a 2-day period. That's all it is. I only need 2 days. Actually, I don't even need 2 days. But 2 days is okay. We'll do 2 days. I put you in a room. So for those of you that are in the coaching and you're watching me right now, you need to be in Huntsville, Alabama, January
The 20th and the 21st.
January the 19th and the 21st. You got to be
20th and 21st.
19th and the 20th and the 21st. You need to be in Huntsville the 20th and the 21st. If you haven't booked your travel yet, you need to. Because that's our 2-day immersion. And that's where we're going to put you in a room. I'm going to put you on a desk. I'm going to get you the phone out. I'm going to teach you how to find leads without paying $1 for them. And I'm going to have you dial the phone following our scripts and finding deals. And look at the last one we did. We were able to produce over $590,000 in potential profits. And that really, it was a 2-day immersion, but we really didn't even spend 2 days. We really didn't. So it was really like a day that we did that in, you know. But the point is it's jam-packed, man. And why do I do a 2-day immersion? Because I want to prove to all of you that all you got to do is listen to your coach, get on the phone, and start dialing. But a lot of you are afraid to dial because you don't have the support. You don't have the person, you know, to back you up. You don't have the, you know, the coach or the mentor to guide you through the deal. And I get it. It's tough. But you will never get the money to go buy a coach or hire a mentor or hire a consultant in your business if you don't just start pushing forward and get a deal done. Get one deal done. You got to do one, right? If you don't have the money to hire a consultant or a mentor, then you've got to do one deal. That means you got to push as hard as you can to do one deal to get the earnings to then hire someone to help you grow your business to the next level. So why do we use an LOI? Because you can send as many of them out as you want to. That's why you use an LOI. So listen, if you're listening to me on the podcast or the blog talk, I'm here to tell you guys, keep listening. Keep growing your business. Join me on my Facebook page. Get over there. Be part of our community. We got a great community. We really do. People helping each other, talking, celebrating wins, helping people through losses. We're really growing it. So I encourage you, join us on Facebook. That's where you can ask questions. That's where you can get to know me and I can get to know you. I always know who keeps coming back. I learn you by first name. I learn you by your questions. I learn you by saying hi and where you're from. Get over there, learn what we're doing, participate, and that's what I have for you this week. Why do we use an LOI over purchase and sales agreements? Because they're non-binding and you can send as many of them as you want. This is Zach Childress, your real estate coach. I'll see you guys next week. Facebook, I'm back with you, my friends. All right, let's dig into some of your questions.
Don, he says about 3 weeks ago or so, you had a great line that you tell people what you do when you're talking with them. Something about raising money for real estate. Could you please say it again?
Well, I have a lot of great lines, Don.
I think you might need to go back and watch the other live video.
Well, I mean, I probably remembered if I get a little more detail about it. What was the line for? Read the question again.
It was for when you're talking to people and you tell people when you are talking with them, something about raising money for real estate.
Oh, when I'm talking to get private investors? Yeah, when I meet somebody, they'll say, hey, what do you do? And if I'm looking for the private investor that's in them and I want to know how much they have, I simply say to them, hey, I'm in real estate. I help others place their money into real estate, secured by real estate, where they can earn 8 to 10% on their money or more. And so I ask them, I turn around and say, how much are you earning on your discretionary income? Or how much are you earning on your saved money? Well, I'm not earning that much. Well, great. Maybe we should talk. I I help people place money into real estate to get higher returns than they're making now so that they can live a better life of retirement knowing that their money's working better for them. There's lots of different ways to say it. It's really known as an elevator pitch for private money. I either say it in one way to get them to think about what they're earning on their money, or I say it in another way to get them to think about freedom. I help people place their money in real estate that I'm investing in and that they want to place their money in with a higher rate of return so that they can make more money on their money and they can start to live a better life knowing that their money's working better for them. How is your money working for you? So there's different ways to say that.
So Rob is on here, and he said, should you let a buyer that is interested know that you have somebody ready to move on the contract through an LOI?
What is it? Say it again.
To say you're the wholesaler and you've got multiple interests, and say you get an LOI that somebody's ready to take action, should you let the other people that are interested know?
Yes, absolutely. So as a skilled wholesaler, your intent is to create a buzz, is to create anxiety, really. Like, if I've got multiple people interested in one property, that's what that means, right? That means when I get Jill, she's my buyer. Jill comes in. Jill says, hey, I like that property. I say, great, Jill. I go back to the other ones and I say, hey, I got a buyer on this. I say, Jill, look, you're one of 5 people that are interested in this property. So as of this point, I'm going to take the highest and best. What's your highest and best, Jill? And then I'm going to call Mike up and I'm going to say, Mike, what's your highest and best? And that's all I'm really hearing, right? That's it. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that all. Every time I dial the phone, that's what I'm hearing.
So Mary Dawn, she says, I need to see copies of LOIs and purchase contracts.
Good, Mary. That's fine. Go get you some copies of them.
She also says she wants the book.
Get the book. Go to Amazon, get the book. Listen, inside the book, let's see here. There's some bonuses in here. I wonder if you can get them in there. Where's the bonuses at? Facebook, Success, YouTube, blog. Nope. We give you a bunch of free training. Mary, I can tell you this. It depends on if you want to see my LOIs or my purchase contracts, then you got to buy one of my courses. You got to invest in yourself to get my information. But you could get any old LOI out there. I promise you. You could.
There is the bonuses there.
Yeah, but it's all the trainings, if I'm not mistaken. What's in the bonuses?
It's a free strategy session.
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other training that comes with it. So
but I'm not
I don't think it's a resource CD that they get, though.
No. So then we have Steve who says, do you have a multiple approach with the LOI for all cash or terms?
Yeah, absolutely. We do a multiple offer. One of the ways that we do it with sellers is like we'll even like break down the offer into a couple of ways. We'll say, look, Mr. Seller, let me just give you an idea if you was to do this yourself. So right now, if you did it yourself and you listed it for say $350,000, but you've got to put $40,000 into it to get to that, then your net is going to be $240,000. Let's just say. The second offer is if you sell it to me at X price, then your net is $230,000. The other offer is that if you give me an option to buy it or seller financing, you'll get so much today and then you'll net X amount in 4 or 5 years from now. So we'll give them 3 different approaches, an option seller financing, an all cash offer as is, and if they was to go do it themselves and put the money in to get the earnings, and what that shows them is what it would be like if they had to do it themselves and what would they walk away with, or if they just sold it right now. Or if they wanted that $250 without doing the work, they would have to sell or finance it to me and get it at a later date.
So Mary, she says, more information about registering for the class, please.
Yes, Mary. Pick up the phone and just dial 707-247-4248.
I hear awesome sauce.
Yeah. Call that number. We have student advisors on hand. They'll be happy to tell you all about it. It's coming up in Los Angeles, California, February the 9th through the 11th. We are doing a 3-day event there where I'm teaching all 3 days. We cover everything from starting your business to building your business to the incomes that you need. We do deal case studies in class. We're also teamed up with the original shark from Shark Tank, Mr. Kevin Harrington, and he's going to be there sharing his secrets, how he created over $400 million in net worth, not just in investing, but helping other people create million-dollar companies. He's also written the book, Put a Shark in Your Tank, which is exactly what we did, and the Act Now on how to take an idea to $1 million income stream for yourself. So we're happy to have him there. You're going to learn. You're going to rub elbows with millionaires. California, February 9th through the 11th. It is jam-packed. We're teaching everything on how to flip properties and flip contracts, and you need to be there to see what we're doing. This is a working 3-day event. You can ask anybody on this thread, Mary, that's been to one of my events. Don't just take my word from it. Just ask some of them about it. Just ask some of them. Just say, hey, what do you know about Zach's event? And, they'd be happy to share with you.
So, Katrina, she says, I don't have any money for my ticket. I don't have a ticket to go to Florida or what state you was talking about.
Okay, Katrina. Well, I understand. Sometimes we're not in a position to be able to, get to where we want to go, which just means you got to hustle right now, Katrina. You got to hustle. You got to hustle. If the problem is in 6 months from now, if I did another event, would you say the same thing? Right? What could you do between now and 6 months? Hustle. You got to get out there and get going. You got to find a way to change your life, because just saying I can't do it is not an answer to the rest of your life.
And it sure as heck is not going to make you do it.
No, it's not.
I want to give a shout out to Robert Coop. He just hopped on here.
Mr. Coop! Mr. Coop in the house!
He's up early. He said, Robert actually just commented. He said, these events are gold. You can't miss them.
Hey, he's coming to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's flying. Look, here's a guy from Australia flying in from Australia just to be at another event. That's how much power he sees in him. How about that? You guys are complaining because you got to drive 2 states over. That's the difference between successful people and people who just want success. I mean, let's just be real right now, okay? Because, this is what I say. I love these buttons.
Is that your actual laugh?
I love these buttons.
Did you record that one, though?
No.
It sounds like you when you get going.
I love them. All right, what else you guys got for me today?
They all been gone quiet.
All right. So the message today is, don't be afraid to make offers. Use LOIs. Use letters of intent. Use letters of intent. Use letters of intent. Okay? Use them. So, all right, guys, listen. You guys are going out on me. I'm out of here, too. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Dig deeper tomorrow. Dig deeper tomorrow. As my son would say, dig deeper. Dig deeper, okay? You crack me up, too, Robert. You crack me up.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I can play with I can play with these buttons all day.
Awesome.
All right, listen, I don't want to keep you guys on here too much longer. Can you use these for land too? You can use an LOI for anything, my friends. You can use an LOI for real estate, whether it be a house, a commercial building, land. You could also use an option, which we did a class on a straight option for this too. You can use an LOI for a car, a boat, a pencil. Sell me this pen, please.
I'll sell you it to you if you want to buy it from me.
Sell me this pen. So, all right, guys. Hey, this is Zach Childers over and out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Dig deeper. See you now. Bye.